So I've worked a few summer camps in my day. I'm saying it like I'm an old person. I'm exactly like the main character from this film. Just like an older dude, not older. I'm the exact same age as what they said in the film. I'm 24, but I am turning 25 this year. Um, but I've worked a few summer camps, but they were more like academic summer camps, not like this summer camp. And plus, there wasn't a mask wearing serial killer that was roaming around the camp trying to kill people. So that's a plus. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Daniel Strunk from QuickTime Reactions, and today's a busy day for me. I meant to go watch these films yesterday, but work said I had to, work overtime for Saturday. So I was just like, I'm gonna conserve my energy for today for my overtime, and then I'll just go and I'll just have my plan ready for today, which, you might be able to hear. It's a bit rainy out. It's been raining for the past few days here, and it's been interesting. But we're going to soldier through. And the first film that I'm going to be reviewing is Hell of a Summer. This one stars Fredhechinger, Abby Quinn, Finn Wolfhard, Billy Burke, amongst a huge cast. And okay, stop me if you heard this story before. So a bunch of teenagers come to a summer camp looking to get high or do drugs or get drunk or have sex, so on and so forth. But then a masked serial killer goes around and kills them off one by one, and it's up to our teens to try and figure out who is doing the killing. Does that sound familiar to anybody? Um, it is very much your standard typical like 80s slasher uh, movie, specifically more so in the case of Friday the 13th, um, with the mass serial killer going around and killing people left, right, and center. Um, and I don't necessarily think that's like a bad thing. Um, like this film was very, very solid. Billy Burke and Finn Wolfhard wrote and directed this movie, as well as star in the film as well. Um, and I think they did a pretty good job of not only directing but also writing the script, because the characters felt so fleshed out to me, especially what I would class as our core four, which are Fredhechinger as Jason, Abby Quinn, who I can't remember her character's name, Finn Wolfhard as Chris, and Billy Burke as Bobby. I think those four um, really did a really good job of performing, especially Fredhechinger. Like, man has range, legitimately. He can go from being an absolute menace and a pest in Gladiator 2, and then to being like, the lovable loser that you just want to like, hang out with and just like be chill with in this film. Like he's really good as an actor, and I can't wait to see like what else he does. Um, Also, I have to give major props to whoever did the score for this, because I was getting, obviously there were like, there was a bit of Friday the 13th, but I more associated this score with Halloween, and also, strangely, John Carpenter's The Thing, with a lot of like synths and a lot of like dome 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 dome, which was very similar to what the score was for The Thing. And I found that to be very interesting. It fit the movie very, very well. But I just found that to be a very interesting reference pull for the score. Um, I think the best thing about this was the editing. Shouts out to the editor of this because, um, like for instance, when the other teens accuse Jason of being the killer, and they just provide all the list of reasons as to why they think like he's doing it. It goes from him like about to give his explanation to cut to he's tied to the bed frame, gag in his mouth, and it's just the best. That was a really good edit. Um, I'm trying to think here. There were also that was just one of the edits that stood out to me. I'm trying to remember. There were a few other edits in the film that I was like, okay, that was really. Oh, early on in the film, fredhechinger has the axe and he's swinging it down, and we cut to a blood splatter onto a mirror, and it just does that. I'm like, that's a really good edit. That's really good editing. Um, yeah, I would say like this is a really good um, entry level horror film for those that have not seen um, the Friday the 13th films. I would definitely maybe this sounds mean because I'm like I want to watch all the movies in a horror franchise, but you could potentially like skip out on maybe the first one because the first one's like not really that good. And maybe you can just go to two, in which Jason enters the franchise, and then I continue forth from there. If you want to check out that first one, I've heard, well, mainly from Dead Meat James after his recount, like the first one's like boring. So take that for what you will. But I think this was a really good modern redo of Friday the 13th, huh? Just with like different motives and different. I wouldn't necessarily say different situations, but a different like cast of characters. I will say. Um, Cast was really good. Score was really good. Editing was really good. Yeah, this was a pretty solid little film for Finn and Billy, and I hope they get to do more work because I think this was a solid first outing, and um, hopefully they get more work as writers and directors in the future. So yeah, um, that's one down. I have two more to go, and it's going to be one hectic night. But until next time, guys, I will catch you later.